What is the dumbest reason someone earned a medal? Private Everett Caldwell got a Bronze Star for accidentally starting World War III. Well, not actually starting it, but coming closer than anyone since the Cuban Missile Crisis. Fort Hood 2019. Caldwell was our communications specialist, which basically meant he maintained radios and ran cable through buildings. Kid was brilliant with electronics, but had zero common sense about anything else. The base was hosting a joint training exercise with South Korean forces. Big deal for international relations. Generals flying in from both countries, news cameras everywhere, the whole diplomatic circus. My job was supervising Caldwell while he set up communication links between American and Korean command posts. Simple task, just connecting radio frequencies so both sides could coordinate. Make sure the encryption codes match, I told him for the 10th time. Korean frequency 247.5, our frequency 158.2. Nothing fancy. Caldwell nodded, started hooking up equipment with his usual confidence. Guy could wire a stereo system blindfolded, so I wasn't worried about technical problems. 2 hours later, every alarm on base started screaming simultaneously. Red alert sirens, emergency broadcasts, soldiers running in full combat gear toward defensive positions. I found Caldwell standing in the communication center, staring at his equipment with pure terror in his eyes. Sergeant, I think I messed up. Turns out he'd accidentally cross-wired our training exercise communications with the base's emergency alert system. When Korean officers started their mock battle scenarios, their radio chatter triggered automatic responses throughout the entire installation. Every simulated enemy movement they reported got interpreted as real threats by our base defense computers. Korean voices saying advancing on target building became hostile forces attacking headquarters in our system. Within minutes, Fort Hood was responding to a full-scale invasion that existed only in Caldwell's mismatched wiring. Fighter jets scrambled, SWAT teams deployed, local police cordoned off roads. The Korean general, watching our massive response to their pretend exercise, assumed we were staging some kind of demonstration, started escalating their own simulated attacks to match our apparent readiness level. This created a feedback loop where each side kept raising the stakes, thinking the other was planning something bigger. Korean forces called for backup units. We activated additional defensive measures. For 47 minutes, two allied nations nearly declared war on each other because of crossed wires and miscommunication. NORAD got involved. The Pentagon started making phone calls to Seoul. Emergency hotlines that hadn't been used since the Cold War suddenly came alive with confused diplomats. Base Commander Colonel Reed finally figured out what was happening when he saw Caldwell frantically disconnecting cables while sobbing. I'm sorry, I just wanted the frequencies to work better. The investigation took 3 weeks. Military intelligence, State Department, Korean embassy officials, everyone trying to figure out how a training exercise almost caused an international incident. But here's where it gets weird. During the chaos, Caldwell had kept working. While everyone else was running around panicking, he'd stayed at his post, trying to fix his mistake. His desperate attempts to restore proper communications had actually prevented the situation from getting worse. Every connection he made, every wire he correctly repositioned, had gradually reduced the confusion between both command structures. Korean investigators later testified that Caldwell's persistence under pressure had demonstrated exceptional dedication to the mission. Even while facing career-ending consequences, he'd prioritized solving the problem over protecting himself. The medal citation read, "For maintaining critical communications infrastructure during a simulated combat exercise, ensuring coordination between allied forces despite equipment malfunctions and extreme operational pressure." Official version completely left out the part about him causing the whole mess in the first place. Made it sound like he'd heroically maintained communications during some planned crisis scenario. Caldwell got promoted to specialist, transferred to a cushy assignment at the Pentagon, and became the poster boy for international military cooperation. His photo ended up in recruitment brochures. The Korean general sent him a personal commendation letter. "Your dedication to duty reminded our forces why American soldiers are such reliable allies." 6 months later, Caldwell was teaching communications procedures at the Defense Language Institute, training future military interpreters and diplomatic liaisons. His students never knew their instructor once nearly started World War III by plugging the wrong cable into the wrong socket on a Tuesday afternoon in Texas.